Veganism is right. What is veganism? To put it simply, veganism is defined as the practice of abstaining from the use of animal products, particularly in diet. In short, if a food or everyday product is sourced from an animal in any fashion, vegans won't go there. It is considered a highly ethical lifestyle choice with a high degree of discipline involved and one that puts the needs of animals first. Why go vegan? For the environment. One of the most effective things an individual can do to lower their carbon footprint is to avoid all animal products. This goes way beyond the problem of cow flatulence. Why is meat and dairy so bad for the environment? We'll explain that later. For people, just like veganism is a sustainable option when it comes to looking after our planet, plant-based living is also a more sustainable way of feeding the human family. A plant-based diet requires only 1/3 of the land needed to support a meat and dairy diet. With rising global food and water insecurity due to a myriad of environmental and socioeconomic problems, there's never been a better time to adopt a more sustainable way of living. Avoiding animal products is not just one of the simplest ways an individual can reduce the strain on a food as well as other resources. It's the simplest way to take a stand against inefficient food systems, which disproportionately affects the poorest people all over the world. Is there such thing as ethical meat? It's tempting to want to believe that the meat we eat is ethical, that our food animals have lived full, happy lives, and that they have experienced no pain or fear at a slaughterhouse. Yet the sad truth is that living creatures, even those labeled free-range or organic, fear death, just as we do. No matter how they are treated when they are alive, they all experience the same fear when it comes to slaughter. The strongest argument for veganism is we shouldn't be cruel to animals. They feel pain too. Animals do feel pain. If you are or have ever been a pet owner, you can tell when your little friend is suffering. You can hear their whimpers and their cries, see their winces, and quite literally feel their pain. Animals undoubtedly suffer. Cows, pigs, chickens, and fish. Cambridge Declaration on Consciousness says, the absence of a neocortex does not appear to preclude an organism from experiencing affective states. Convergent evidence indicates that non-human animals have the neuroanatomical, neurochemical, and neurophysiological substrates of conscious states, along with the capacity to exhibit intentional behaviors. Consequently, the weight of evidence indicates that humans are not unique in possessing the neurological substrates that generate consciousness. Non-human animals, including all mammals and birds, and many other creatures, include octopuses, also possess the neurological substrates. Health advantages. There is overwhelming evidence for the health advantages in going vegan. Disease prevention. Eating a healthy vegan diet has shown to prevent a number of diseases. Find out from the list below what you can potentially avoid just by switching to a healthy, balanced vegan diet. These are just some of the many health benefits to going vegan. Positive and potential health benefits. Decreasing animal protein intake by following a plant-based diet, vegan as well as other vegetarian diet forms, is suggested to have a low carbon footprint on the environment to be more sustainable. Animal product requires water and crops for the animals and transportation of the animals and products, as it creates methane, a destructive greenhouse gas, from cattle. The need for grain to feed animals for slaughter contributes to deforestation as well. While a plant-based diet also requires natural resources, its overall environmental impact is thought to be significantly less and more sustainable long-term. Additionally, some may be attracted to veganism because it promotes a more cruelty-free way of living than traditional omnivore diet. Eating meat can hurt you. Meat can be poisonous. These sound like outrageous claims, but they have some statistics behind them. Cancer's connection to animal products. One of the primary recommendations in the American Cancer Society's guidelines on nutrition for cancer prevention is to eat a diet with emphasis on plant food. Researchers have found that vegetarians are between 25 and 50% less likely to suffer from cancer, even after controlling for other factors such as smoking. A study by the ACS found that people who ate 3 ounces of meat a day were 30 to 40% more likely to develop colon cancers. Researchers for the National Cancer Institute have found that eating meat raises men's risk of prostate cancer, while a study from Yale University reports that meat-based diets can cause cancers of the stomach and esophagus as well as lymphoma, cancer of the lymphatic system. Scientists have also found that people who regularly chow down on hot dogs, sausages, or other processed or cured meat suffer from 70% increase in pancreatic cancer rates. A key difference between vegans and vegetarians is that vegetarians practice abstaining from consumption of meat and may also include abstention from byproducts of animal slaughter. 3 kinds of vegetarians are ovo-vegetarian, lacto-vegetarian, and ovo-lacto-vegetarian. But the next 2 slides will explain why being vegetarian is not enough in the fight for animal rights. This is how the dairy industry works. Cows in the dairy industry arguably live more miserable lives than cows raised for meat. This is because they are continuously abused throughout their lives for their milk and then killed. This is how the dairy industry works. Since cows only produce milk when they're pregnant, the process begins with forced artificial insemination of the cows. The farmers insert their arms into the sexual orifice of the cows and pump bull semen into them to impregnate them. This is a necessary step for milk production and occurs in small family farms all the way to factory farms. Once the cow has a baby, 2 things may happen. If the baby is a male, then he is no useful farmer since he will never produce milk. Therefore, the baby is either killed at the farm or sold to the veal industry for meat. If the baby is female, then she will have the same future as her mother and will go through several cycles of emotional and physical abuse. In both cases, the mother is not allowed to stay too long with her baby, and cows tend to cry for days after their baby is stolen. After about 2 or 3 milking cycles, the cow's milk production becomes unprofitable, so the cow is killed, and at this stage is usually about 6 years old. The natural lifespan of a cow is around 20 years. The egg industry. In the egg industry, only females are required since only they lay eggs. So at hatcheries, male and female chicks are separated by workers called sexers. Males are considered useless, so they are killed at the hatchery either by being macerated alive or by being gassed, drowned, or suffocated in a sack. Females are painfully beat and sent off to the farm where they will lay a painful 300 plus eggs per year doing genetic manipulation, as opposed to wild chickens who lay about 20 or so per year. The process happens in any farm, regardless of it being free range, organic, or etc. After the egg-laying hens stop producing a profitable amount of eggs, they are sent to the slaughter, which involves being thrown into an electric bath to be ineffectively stunned, then hoisted upside down and going along a conveyor belt to have their throats slit. Many chickens will remain fully conscious after their throats are slit and will be boiled alive in the defeathering tank afterwards. Their slaughter happens around 2 years of age. The natural lifespan of a chicken is around 8. Veganism is definitely right.